three. 1, 2, 3. And hello, fellows. Herogon here. Today is Tuesday, June 27th of 2023. It is now 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time. A bit late on doing the Funlog with regards to time of day it is, but I've had late bedtimes before. Now, this past week has been decent enough. I'm so far still doing the typical ACT studies, as well as spending time with family, whether I'm at my mom's house or my dad's RV. Now, and of course, speaking of my dad, his birthday is on June 30th. So yeah, in 3 days, my dad will be turning 42 years old. I know, it's a bit old, but hey, it's what we have. A lot of us can't get any younger, I guess. Sorry if I sound a bit odd about all the birthday stuff with regards to my dad. I really don't usually do the scripting stuff when it comes to making these videos. So let's just get into the meat of the video. This past week for the fighting game framework saw me adding some new stuff. In particular, creating in-game currency. Now, credit goes to Sean the Bro for this. He's pretty much been the anchor, the rock to a lot of what I've done. Now, going into in-game currency, it's a little easy enough. This essentially focuses on putting the icon showing how much you've gotten and letting you gain currency by doing matches, whether it's in fight or tutorial mode, whichever one you prefer. Now, going into the Xcode part, there's only a small bit to do. The base game instance saw me adding a new integer called total currency, the amount of currency the main player has at the current time. Currently, we don't have a way to save all of your total currency you get in the game, so every time you exit, everything's restarted. So yeah, eventually save games might be possible, but at the moment, this is where I'm at with regards to the fighting game framework, as well as Sean's point. Now going into the base game instance.cpp, nothing's needed in there, but in game mode.h, we will need a new integer variable called currency to give, the amount of currency that we will give to one or more fighters based on performance, match type, etc. It's a typical uProperty, edit anywhere, blueprint read write, and the category equals currency. Do note that the category isn't always needed. It's more so just to get yourself organized if you wish. Because trust me, having a lot of variables and being able to call them in blueprint or visual scripting, you're gonna need some kind of organization. Let me tell you that. And in the game mode.cpp, I just want to set my default value for my variable of currency to give to around 20. That's a good base, but you can choose whatever you would like if you happen to end up following Sean the Bro's tutorial series all the way through up to this point. So yeah. Now going down, in our match 1, we have a new if statement. If auto base game instance equals cast, then we want to cast our base game instance, this total currency, to plus equal the currency to give. Essentially, it's saying our total currency will now equal currency to give since it's being added. With that, that is all of the coding part, but in the blueprint is where a lot of the stuff is. Now in store menu, I've had to add a few new things. I've added a texture I got off online, an empty gold coin, and I have two new widget blueprints. Currency details, which is shows how much currency we have in the versus end pop-up here. Actually, no, the store widget here. It's simply a widget that can easily be added in. Let's see. Almost like this. And now, but going back to the currency details, it's simple enough. Just a currency image and currency amount texture. Actually, no, a currency image texture and a currency amount text. Now, with our text, we are getting a function called getCurrencyAmountText. We check if our game instance ref is valid, then get our total currency, and get that to text integer. Easy enough. Of course, we also have to make sure it's in our store widget too, so we can see how much we have gotten. The 240 is just an arbitrary value, an example. When you go into the actual game itself, it will be at 0 by default because you don't have anything yet. So and that is pretty much all for the store widget. Just adding the currency details widget here, which is quite interesting because being able to insert other widgets into another widget is quite the greatness that it is. Now going to versus end pop-up, there's a new thing called currency gained, which is our newest widget, covering how much currency we will gain in a match. So with regards to this, it's the same thing, currency image and a currency gained text. The text is just set at plus 20 by default, but it does have a special sort of binding, but instead is in a particular function called setCurrencyGained. The integer input is the amount gained, then we place that into toText integer, then convert it to a string, append with our a value being plus to give the sense we're adding to something, and the b being the amount we've gained. Then we just do a toText string, and our target is currency gained. All of that goes into something called setText, which directly sets our widget text, as it says. Now going into the versus end pop-up itself, we have this part. Everything else has not changed, but we do have a new thing called setCurrencyGained. In the text, in the widget here, is our target for this. We get our game mode reference, and then currency to give. So yeah, that is pretty much it with regards to the stuff right here. Of course, I'm afraid that I won't be able to show how all things go because I've actually had a few crashes whenever I go to the main menu from the versus end pop-up, but I am willing to show you gameplay, of course. Oh, and I almost forgot one small thing. Let's see. In the store, let's see. Actually, I don't have it right. Wait, no. in our store widget, we of course have a new part, which is, let's see, P1 back. Now the new part I'm going to show live right now is that I'm going to allow you to return to the archives menu from there. So let's go to our credits and copy something. Let's see. And back. There we go. Remove from parent option. And there we go. Now if we go back into the game right now, I will show you how the storefront goes. You can, as usual, you can go from the typical stuff from the last, but now when I press back, boom, you're back right here. Now going into the game itself, I will try my best to keep things as best as I can. It's a typical old combat and versus practice. As you can see, I can keep on comboing them and make sure they get a lot of damage. And some moves can particularly be slow with this. And as you can see, my iMac 2017 is a bit old, so almost 6 years, a 6-year-old model. And as you can see here, our character has won his first round. And now they easily go down again because that's how things go so far. So yeah. Then once we've gotten our things ready, then we can easily keep on attacking them with our auto combo stuff. And of course it can take quite a while with regards to the game itself, so yeah. And our character is close to death again, so I do hope you are patient enough because it can take a while with everything. Because as you can see, game development takes quite a lot of time. Now going into things, let's see, ready, fight, then we keep on hitting them. Of course, I do hope that I can wrap things up quickly, and by the time this is done, on second thought, I'm actually going to exit. I'm sorry that things have been dragged out for this long. Hopefully someday I can get around to an actual match that's a lot quicker. So yeah. Anyways, this credit again goes to Sean LeBro for all of his tutorials. They've been pretty great. Even if I do end up forgetting something sometimes, and even if my game ends up crashing at times for some reason, I'm pretty much enjoying the typical stuff. It's been my own little routine, I'd like to say. So with that being said, I've been Herogon, you've been you. Thank you for tuning in. I'm gonna leave things right here for now. I look forward to seeing you guys tune in next week. Goodbye, everyone.